Your app just crashed. A user tried to make a payment and got an error. But here's the thing, the payment gateway was only down for 2 seconds. 2 seconds, and your app gave up. No retry, no recovery, just failure. That user? They're never coming back. Now imagine this happening thousands of times a day across your Azure cloud app. That's not a bug, that's a missing pattern. And today, I'm going to show you the one pattern every .NET Azure architect must know, the retry pattern. Welcome to the Azure Architecture series. I'm starting with day 1, the retry pattern. So what exactly is the retry pattern? It's beautifully simple. Request goes out, it fails. You wait, you retry, success. That's it. The retry pattern automatically retries a failed operation, but only for temporary, transient failures. It waits before trying again, and it prevents those silly, unnecessary failures from ever reaching your user. Here's something most developers don't accept early enough. In cloud-native applications, failures are expected behavior. This isn't your on-premise server sitting quietly in a rack. Cloud services throttle requests, networks blip, AP is timeout, distributed systems don't update instantly. These aren't bugs in your code, they're realities of the cloud. The question isn't will failures happen, it's what does your app do when they do? Let me make this real. A user hits Pay Now. Your app calls the payment API and it times out. Just a blip. The API is fine. It was a momentary network hiccup. Without retry, the user sees an error. The transaction fails. You lose revenue. You lose trust. With retry, your app quietly retries in the background. The transaction goes through. The user never even knew there was a problem. That's the power of this pattern. It hides temporary failures from your users completely. Let's look under the hood. The request goes out. It hits a temporary failure. The system detects it automatically. Then, and this is important, it waits. This backoff delay is not wasted time. It gives the failing service a chance to recover without flooding it with repeated hammering. Then the retry fires, and the operation succeeds. Remember this, a retry without a delay is dangerous. You need that controlled pause to avoid making a bad situation worse. Now, not all retries are created equal. You have 4 main strategies. Immediate retry, fire again instantly. Simple but risky under load. Fixed delay, wait the same amount of time between each retry. Predictable and easy to configure. Incremental retry, wait a little longer each time. Better. And the gold standard? Exponential backoff, the delay doubles after each failure. This is what Azure SDKs use by default. It's the safest strategy for distributed systems because it gives struggling services real breathing room. Here's something that should give you confidence. Azure is built around this pattern. Azure Storage, Azure SQL, Cosmos DB, Service Bus, API Management, Azure Functions. They all have built-in retry support in their SDKs. Microsoft designed Azure assuming that temporary failures will happen. Your job as an architect is to configure that retry behavior correctly, because default settings are a starting point, not a final answer. Now for the .NET engineers, let me show you how clean this is with Poly. 3 lines of meaningful code. You add an HTTP client, attach a transient error policy, and call wait and retry async with 3 retries and an exponential backoff using math.pow open parenthesis 2, retry attempt close parenthesis. What this means in plain English: first retry waits 2 seconds, second retry waits 4 seconds, third retry waits 8 seconds. A PI call fails, Poly handles it silently. Your user sees nothing. Your system recovers gracefully. This is production-grade resilience in under 10 lines of code. Now, a critical mistake I see architects make. They add retry everywhere, and that breaks things. Do not retry authentication failures. Wrong credentials won't fix themselves on attempt 3. Do not retry validation errors. A bad request is still a bad request after 10 retries. Do not retry business logic failures. If a user has insufficient funds, retrying won't create money. Retry is for transient problems, timeouts, temporary network issues, service throttling. Retry temporary failures, not permanent ones. Know the difference. Here's the mindset shift I want you to take away from today. Reliable systems are not failure-free. They recover gracefully. Failures are normal. The retry pattern is your first line of defense, ensuring that temporary blips never become user-facing disasters. Coming up next in this series, Day 2, Circuit Breaker. Because retry is great, but what happens when a service is genuinely down for longer? You need to know when to stop retrying and protect your system from cascading failures. That's what Circuit Breaker solves. If you're a .NET developer or architect moving into the Azure cloud space, follow Fundamentally Clear right now. Every single day for the next 44 days, I'm breaking down one Azure cloud design pattern with real-world scenarios, .NET code, and the kind of clarity that actually sticks. No fluff, no theory dumps, just fundamentals made clear, like this post. Follow the channel and share it with one developer on your team who's building on Azure. See you on Day 2.